You know, while the public is freaking out about a bunch of drugged out junkies overdosing, a real epidemic is occurring in this country and indeed the world. In the United States, approximately 260,000 people go missing a year, many of which are children. Where are these children going? What's being done to these children and with these children? I know Pizzagate, right? The conspiracy theory? I don't think so. I don't think so. And today I'm going to go over a few of these pedophile rings, and we'll go from here. Alright, so Westminster pedophile ring, Sir Peter Heyman named in secret file. National Archive papers reveal the late diplomat Peter Heyman was the focus of a report into unnatural sexual behavior in the 1980s. This goes back a very, very long way. Not just the 1980s. This has been going on for a long time. This comes from David Barnett, House Affairs correspondent for the London Telegraph, I guess. Former diplomat Sir Peter Heyman has been named as the subject of a secret file concerning unnatural sexual proclivities. Yep. The file, which has been released to the National Archives, names late Sir Peter in a report prepared for then Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. What a fucking puke that bitch was, too. He died in 1992, so he got off lucky. But there's a lot more than just these archives about this guy. Down here, I'm going to play a little clip of some testimony. I don't know if you've heard it or not, but I will play it anyway, just so you can hear the first minute or two of this girl's testimony, and then we'll get back into it.
But everyone who was there, which must have been about 20, from 10 to 20 people. If it was a big ceremony, it used to be 30.
What would your grandma be doing if these men were forcing themselves on you?
Usually laughing or smiling or having sex with another man or other men.
Who was the leader? Who was the boss of the game, of the cult?
At home it was my nan.
Your nan made you have sex with animals?
Yeah. Like goats and donkeys.
Now, I'm not going to play any more of that because it's pretty, bad. But the United Kingdom isn't the only place this kind of shit is going on. Like I said, many people, 260,000 people a year, a lot of which are children, are going missing, and bodies are not being found. What's happening to these people? And why is the government focused on a bunch of junkies overdosing when they could be doing the public a real service and trying to track down where these people are? But instead, they're going to go for the government's going to go for the profitable crimes, right? Like pulling over low-level drug dealers and seizing their property. That's their priority. Not your kid, not your missing husband or wife. And Kentucky is one of the most corrupt states when it comes to child trafficking. And it's done in most states through child protected or protection services. Health Impact News and MedicalKidnap.com has previously reported how the FBI saying that Kentucky is the most corrupt state in the country and urged families to share their stories involving alleged corruption in their dealings with child protective services. Now, make no mistake about it, child protective services is more or less the same in every state. Or the Department for Community-Based Services, as it is known in Kentucky. It appears that corruption in Kentucky continues to run deep and wide. See, Kentucky is being investigated for corruption. Will the state's sordid historic history of legal kidnapping finally be punished? And the answer to that is no. Many believe that the corruption of CPS is rooted in a for-profit adoption system created by the Title, what is that? 1 in the 5? 4. Bonus funds from the federal government given to states when they successfully adopt children. There is great financial incentive for the states to remove children from families and place these children for adoption. They give you about a year to get your shit together if whatever they deem is worthy of getting your child back. It could be anything. It could be anything from not doing the dishes to smoking pot to being a fucking meth head. Okay? But they give you a year generally, and after that year, they put your kid up for adoption. And really, the only kids that get adopted out are younger children. So there's a whole bunch of teenagers and younger adolescent children that are stuck in this foster system. They fall through the cracks. They end up in the hands of these child sex traffickers. And so, one Kentucky mother who wishes to remain anonymous explains how the corruption is motivated by money by using children as commodities in a for-profit business. Truly abused children are considered damaged goods and are not sellable. Do you understand that? They don't go after actually damaged children. They go after children who have healthy mental health. And of course, the trauma of being snatched out of your home creates a little bit of a mental health problem in itself. But this isn't even talking about the people, the children who go missing every year. Oregon, Washington, Virginia, you name it, they're gone. Some of them are found, true enough, but the vast majority of those children and other people are never found, never heard from again. It's just like they're gone. They vanished in the thin air. So, what do you think the priority would be? What is causing these disappearances? Well, that might be the priority of a government who cares about its citizens and what happens to the missing, but the priority for our own government is dollars, period. That's why they bring the heroin into the country, so they get paid off of both ends. They get paid from the distribution, and then they get paid through the prison system. And the same thing is happening to children. And a lot, just like this said, truly abused children are considered damaged goods and are not sellable, whereas those from good homes are much more adoptable and profitable to the state. Are you going to sit there and tell me with a straight face that the state, the government as a whole, isn't your enemy? What do you call it? What do you call it? When they use a bunch of sluts in the Me Too movement to run defense for all the pedophiles out there by claiming they were sexually harassed and so on and so forth. When they made the decision to go to those places by themselves with those men, particularly Harvey Weinstein, knowing about his reputation. But, you know, those whores are more important than the innocent children and other people who are kidnapped off the street every day in this country, and nobody seems to fucking care about what happens to them. Look at this one. Publicly open pedophile running for office in Virginia reveals how foster care is a pipeline to adopt children as sex toys. This is the country you live in, and you're going to tolerate that shit? Another one, Arizona foster care system revealed as pedophile ring, former foster child tortured for years, sues for $15 million. Michigan parents falsely accused of abusing own child by child abuse specialist have case dismissed. And that's very rare, people. Very rare. So, instead of worrying about a bunch of motherfuckers who are abusing a substance willingly, shouldn't you be more concerned about the people who are being taken unwillingly? I think so. And this is why I continue to tell you, kill the fucking state, and before the state kills you. Or steals your children, your property, maybe even worse.